Reddit user BizboUK wants to use Palo Alto Network's file blocking to block zip files, but still allow various Microsoft Office files such as docx, xlsx, and pptx. I'm going to explain in this video why that's not possible, why you can't do that with Palo Alto Network's file blocking, and I'm actually going to prove to you that it doesn't work. And I'm going to address a few of the commenters that were in that specific Reddit thread who gave some incorrect solutions, and I'm going to explain why those solutions don't work. In 2007, Microsoft updated all of its file formats. So doc became docx, xls became xlsx, ppt became pptx. So X just got added to the end of everything, and they released this new file format. What this file format did is it actually made the file packaging process a lot more efficient, and so the files were a lot smaller. If you look at an old doc file, you can actually save a file now and try to save a doc file as a doc and a docx, and you'll notice that the doc is going to be much larger. The docx actually compresses it, but the technology that it uses to compress that file is the same as what's used to zip a file, and therefore, if it really is just a zipped file, your operating system actually just opens the docx directly into Word, for example, but it actually just sees a zip file and actually is just basically that single file zipped into itself. So for that reason, the Palo Alto firewall sees a zip file, and even though it can tell that it's a docx, it also still detects it as a zip file. And as of right now, if you have a file blocking profile set up, it will see it as a zip file as well as a docx file. So if you set up your file blocking profile to block zip files, even if you have it allow docx files, it will still block the zip file. The Palo Alto Networks firewall uses something called the precedence of action, and so what that is that's basically that certain actions are going to take higher precedence over other actions, and generally it's going to be the stricter action. So the block action will happen over the allow action. So in this particular case, if the file is detected as both a zip and a docx, the zips are blocked, the docx's are not blocked, or then you have them allowed, alert, even continue. It's going to block it because it sees it as a zip, and it's going to say, okay, I have a block from zip, I don't have a non-block from docx, but the block is more strict, so I'm going to, that's the precedence, that's the action with the precedence that I'm going to take. So that's kind of how that works. That works with all the different profiles. URL filtering is another example of where that happens, where sometimes URL gets categorized in two different categories. If one of them is block and another one is allow, it will choose to block it based on that specific category. You don't have to believe me that this is how it works. I'm going to prove it to you. So let's open up my PA440 here, and I'm going to build a file blocking profile. But first, let's look at my security policies just to see which policies we will be using when I'm uploading or downloading files. As you can see here, I have two outbound policies for my outbound traffic. So that'll be for all my file uploads and downloads. We'll hit one of these two policies depending on if it's a trusted app, it's going to hit this one. If it's an untrusted app, it's going to hit this one. Just a general outbound policy. And if you look at these, they actually have the same profile group under actions, the strict profile group profile. So if I hit, so that one's strict, and I'll prove to you that this one also is strict. So let's take a look at that strict profile. Go to objects, and we go to the security profile groups, and we see strict you see here that the file blocking profile tied to that strict is the alert all. So let's go to file blocking. And here you see alert all. It does exactly what you would expect. It alerts on any applications, any file types. It just does an alert. All right. Well, let's update that. Let's do what BizboUK kind of wanted to see. Let's allow docx and the other files, and let's just see what happens if we upload one of those. So I will, so the way that these profiles work is it's gonna go on the most specific one first, and then again, if it matches multiple of these, it's going to do the action precedence. So if it matches like an all here and it's alert, but then it matches another one that's a block, it's going to block based on matching that. But in case you don't believe me, that's how that works. I'll put it in order. I'll put it in order from top to bottom. So this will be alert on Microsoft. And for the file types, I'll just put the 3 Microsoft file types we've talked about. So XLSX, docx, and pptx. Okay, those are the 3 file types. That's type, that action is alert. And then we will block zips. Applications, any file types will just be zip. And this action will be block. And then we'll keep the alert any because I need to make sure that I keep that alive, because I use that for just some general monitoring in my network here. So I'm going to keep that alert. The only block here is with zips file types. So you would think, okay, if it's a docx, it's going to be alerted. It's not a zip, but unfortunately, as I mentioned, it's going to see it as a zip. But don't trust me. Let's prove it. So let's alert all plus block zips. All right. Okay. And let's commit that. While that's committing, I will show you what we're going to use to test this. I'm just going to use box. So as you see, I've got box here. I'll drag this down so you can see that the connection is secure and that it actually is being decrypted. So if I hit this, you can see here decrypt. That's using my decrypt cert. So that's how you know it's being decrypted. I will, is this zoomed in? Maybe let's zoom all this in. Is this zoomed in too? Yeah, was that already zoomed in? I don't know. Zoom is great. I want to zoom in so you guys can see everything. All right, how's that commit going? We'll wait on this commit. Just that that action precedence thing can confuse a lot of people. There is so for instance, like something like ChatGPT hits 2 different URL categories. It hits the artificial intelligence category, but also the computer net and I think computer and internet info category. So you may allow computer and internet info, and maybe in your organization you block artificial intelligence. A lot of people are doing that now. If it hits both those categories, then it's going to take the action based on the stricter category, at least within the security profile. So by stricter, I mean, block is going to take precedence over allow. Continue will take precedence over allow. Alert will take precedence over allow. There's a list. So it's basically block, think block, strictest, continue, second strictest, alert, third, allow, fourth. So block will take priority, the highest priority, and then allow will take the lowest priority. All right, so that is successful. Let's close. Let's go back to box. All right, so I have some test files here. Very simple test files. Let's just test with the zip first. Make sure that that works as expected. And I think we all agree that that should be blocking if this is working properly. Okay, it's trying to upload. Let's see. Let's get detected already. So we can go to monitor. In case you don't know, you go to monitor data filtering. That's where the file blocking logs are. It's a little bit confusing. Yep, so you can see it here. Yeah, this is the current time, 14:18. And so, yep, you can see that here. It is a zip, and it is denied. Yep. And it is hitting, let's see what rule it's hitting. Why is this file name thing so big? I don't need that to be that big. Let's see. Can I see rule here? Scroll down. Rule, there we go. Yeah, let's have that. Look, it's hitting that West Trusted Apps rule. So that was the one that we went through and we confirmed the group profile in there. So yep, it's hitting that West Trusted Apps rule and is blocking. All right. So now for the real challenge. Now we've got we've got that one. Just refresh. It's gonna be like, are you sure? Yeah, I'm sure. All right. Let's do a word docx. Let's see what happens. Let's go back here. Okay, it's not the index.php. Yeah, there we go. All right, so now you can see that test word. It looks like it tried to do it again, but look at that. Still a deny, same rule. So yeah, so that's not working. So that it does block that docx as well. We can, I mean, just for the fun of it, we can, as you can see, it's not uploading, right? So we can, if something went wrong with the upload, as we thought. So let's try PowerPoint. Do I need to refresh? Let's refresh. All right, let's try the PowerPoint now. Okay, let's go monitor. Here we go. Yeah, test PowerPoint. If you look at this one, also deny. Can I drag this? I know there's a way. Oh yeah, there we go. Nice. Put this right after the rule. There we go. So if you see that test PowerPoint is also deny. And finally, just if we have not beat this horse dead enough, we will finally upload this Excel SX. There we go. And that is also deny. It's being seen as a zip. Like it even says right here, it's being seen as a zip. So that does not work. Even though we're allowing the docx and everything, it's still getting blocked. All right. So another solution that was presented was to create a separate rule, create a rule that's blocking, that's allowing the docx's, and then another rule that is blocking the zips, for example, right? But allowing those Microsoft documents, another one that's blocking the zips. That's not going to work. And let me try to explain why. So let me go to a security policy, see if I can explain this. So I'll go down to my West Trusted Apps security policy. And let me try to walk through how a security policy works. So basically, a session will match a security policy based on these tabs here: the source, destination, application, and service URL category. Those are the the only things that you can have a rule match on. So it's only going to match on the source zone, address, user, device, the destination, zone, address, and device, the application, and the service, which is a port, or the URL category. That is all it can match on. It's going to whatever you're hitting, whatever those criteria are, it's always going to hit that rule. And the rules are evaluated from top to bottom. And once it hits a rule that it matches, it's not going to keep going down and evaluate on additional rules. It's going to stop at that rule, and it's going to do whatever is in this actions tab. So let's walk through this from a perspective of uploading or downloading, right? So you're in a source zone, you're trusted zone, in my case wireless zone. Source address, these are my devices. Source user, I'm not using user ID right now on this, but that user, if I was, it would just be, the user would be me, right? And source devices, this device. Destination, zone in the internet, the address. In this case, I have any here, but it's just going to be the box. It's going to be the box address, right? Regardless if I'm uploading or downloading in my particular use case, or wherever you're uploading and downloading from, it's going to be that address. And the destination device wouldn't really apply here. But if it was, it's going to be that device, right? The application, in this case, it's going to be box, but it's just going to be whatever that application is that you're uploading, downloading, Google Drive, whatever it is. And then the URL or URL category will be that box.com, and the port in this case, will be 443. Yeah, it'll be the application default because it's a web app. The default application 443. Nowhere here does it say that you can't specify based on file. So you can't say, okay, if I'm downloading a zip file, then hit this rule. But if I'm downloading a docx file, then hit this rule. As long as all those things are the same, as long as you're downloading it from wherever you're downloading it from, it's going to hit the same rule. As long as the same user, same device, same place that you're uploading or downloading, it's going to hit the same rule. So there's no way that this is going to work. But again, maybe you don't believe me. So let's just do it. Let's create another rule. So we're gonna do, as you can see here, I had a debate on this with IGQ 2002. He said, don't put them in the same rule. Put allowing a docx above denying the zip rule. And I said that don't work. And he said, you have to make a proper rule for it and use the file blocking profile in that rule. And I said, you can't specify rule based on file type. What I'm just trying to explain to you, you can't specify rule based on file type. Like they're just going to hit one rule. So again, maybe you don't believe me, maybe you do, but let's just prove it here. So this guy IGQ 2002 seems very confident this is going to work. It's I'm very confident it's not. So okay, let's clone this rule. Put one above for the rule. All right, so we'll make this very straightforward. We'll call this West Trusted Apps. So what did he say? He said put allow docx above denying zip. So we're gonna call this allow docx. Okay. And then this one will be deny zip. Okay, so now we'll have to create the policies that can do that. The profiles that can do that. So let's go here. So here I won't even add the alert any. I'll make this very simple. So we'll just do one that says allow docx. I'm gonna do exactly what he said. And I'm going to show you that that in this case, so actually what's going to happen in this case, we're allowing docx, but because we're not specifying anything for zips, this will not meet the what's his name, BizboUK's use case, because what's going to happen here is when you don't specify anything, it's just going to allow it. So I'm going to put here docx, right? And what's going to happen is it's going to say, okay, well, we don't see anything here for zip, so we're just going to allow it. It's going to hit the rule. It's going to say, okay, we know we're allowing docx, so I'll make it alert so we can see it. But it won't even, it's not even an alert on the zip, which is funny. So we're allowing docx. On the next rule, I'll block zip. So then we'll call this block zip. That block zip. The application, this is just a zip. This is block. All right, and then let's create some security profile groups. Let's clone, okay. Let's clone it again. So we'll call this strict block allow docx. And we'll change this file blocking to allow docx. And then we'll call this strict block zip. And we'll change this to block zip. All right. I know I literally said I wanted to keep the alert any because I want to keep on in files on the network, but it's fine. I'm just going to do this for a few minutes and I'll put it back into its state. But I just want to show, I mean, this is exactly what he said to do. So I'm just trying to, I got to convince you all that that the policies really work the way that I say that they are. Like it's going to hit that policy and it's going to make the decision based on that policy. So when it hits this allow docx, it's not going to block zips anymore because there's no zips specified in that profile. So let's change this action from strict. This is which one? This is allow docx. So change this from strict to strict allow docx. Like that's why I keep the naming of everything just the same, because it just makes it so much easier to figure out which one you're on. So this one's deny zip. So I'll make that. It doesn't feel like showing on my profiles. Come on. There we go. No profiles. What is going on? Let's just reload this. It's being a little slow right now. Oh, it's been a lot slow. Cool. All right. All right, there we go. Block zip. All right. Cool. Block zip, deny zip. I guess I probably should stick with more clear nomenclature there. All right, let's just triple check these objects. I don't want to make any mistakes. So let's go to the security profile group. Feels like loading. All right, allow docx. File blocking profile is allow docx. Block zip. File blocking profile is block zip. Go to the file blocking profile. Allow docx is alerting on docx. Block zip is blocking on zip. Check the policies one more time. Make sure that the allow docx is above the deny zip. So what? Gosh, I keep forgetting these guys' usernames. I have to look up here. What IGQ, or is that LGQ? I think it might be LGQ 2002 thinks is that it's going to see this rule and it's going to say, hey, I'm not matching anything in that profile, and so I'm going to move on to this rule. But that's not how that works. That's an action. It's just going to go on these match criteria. It's going to say, okay, I'm matching all of this. I'm a trusted app and I've got all these other source destination matches, and so I'm just going to hit this rule and I'm going to do whatever it says. And it doesn't say to block zip, so I'm not going to block zip. So I'm just going to allow it through. It's not even going to log. It's going to upload right there, and it won't even log because there's no alert profile for that. So, all right, let's commit. Whenever I record, I always zoom in so you guys can see things a little better, but then I've got to like zoom out to commit, but it is what it is. That's all right. I mean, I don't blame the LGQ person. It's just, you know, I'm just want to clarify how this works. I actually kind of was initially thinking something similar. I'd kind of thought I was like, there's got to be a solution to this. And I just thought about it. I played around with it, and I just realized, you know, unfortunately, it's just one of those limitations, unfortunately. And so yeah, so you know, I think I saw somewhere in a knowledge base article that there is a feature request out there to fix this, you know, to basically make it so that they're, you know, so that you can block zips but still allow people to download like docx and stuff, or upload, but it just doesn't exist yet. So this is the state. This is the state of the capability right now. But I don't know. I honestly, I have some. I have seen some people use file blocking. I think for certain organizations, it does make sense. Especially like, you know, only allowing certain users to download lots of files. Not every user needs to be able to download every single type of file, right? So you kind of got to think about, you know, like when you should use file blocking. But at the end of the day, a lot of downloaded files are the source of a lot of breaches, right? People downloading and executing stuff they really shouldn't be. So I mean, yeah, it's important to control your files. Think about who's downloading what and what really people should be downloading and when, like how often they really need to download stuff. I mean, there's a lot of tools now that allow you to view things on SaaS tools, SaaS cloud-based tools. And so in some cases, just better just to encourage people, hey, just you know, just use those SaaS cloud-based tools, view the documents there, and you don't have to download stuff. Now I know that's not for everybody. That's probably I understand that probably sounds like very, very like strict security nonsense. So I don't want you to think that I'm encouraging that for everybody. Some people like have to download files, you have to print things out. I understand that. I'm just saying, think about what your use case is, what kind of files people have to download. But it is, I mean, file blocking is kind of considered like to be pretty strict, and only for like enterprises that really value, like really need to like lock themselves down based on their particular use case. It's not definitely not for everybody. And if you're not using it, I mean, you've got Wildfire, which allows you to analyze files. So you can analyze files, and now Wildfire has like the inline capability. I say now as if it's super recent. It's been there a couple years, but it's got the inline capability, and so you can actually block files, malicious files, as they're getting downloaded as well. If you like to see a video on that, put that in the comments. Let me know. Happy to do some testing on that as well. All right. Moment of truth. This one I actually haven't tested, believe it or not. I know sometimes I say that, and I actually have tested it, but in this case, I haven't tested this. I'm doing it live, as they say. So cool. We'll go to monitor. So what should happen is this zip file should get successfully uploaded, because that it's going to hit that policy that alerts docx and does nothing with zips. It's looking good. We should have made a smaller zip file so this would be more obvious. This is working. Look at that. It uploaded just as predicted. We won't be able to see it here because it's not set to alert. Yeah, it's not here. As I mentioned, I don't know if it'd be in Wildfire. Again, live demos. Just gotta be careful. Yeah. yeah, it's not in Wildfire. So yeah, that's fine. But we know it did upload, and I guess we can double check the decryption in case you don't believe me. Look at that, it's still being decrypted. So it should be getting blocked. I guess another thing we can do just to show that this is working is we can upload this Word file. So I mean, it does allow you to upload the Word file like it's supposed to, and that will get logged because I made that alert. So let's go to here. Yeah, look at that, test Word. So that is getting, that's getting alerted as possible and as programmed as configured, and it's allowed. So it does that, but it's not going to block the zip file. So that's the solution. So the solution is there is no solution, but the truth is that you really just can't implement this the way that he's asking. Unfortunately, it's going to see docx files as zip files, and it's just going to block them if you have blocking set up. I hope that was helpful to kind of explain how rules match and the fact that action within the object does not change what rule it hits. So it's not going to move on to other rules. It's going to stay within that rule. It's just going to take the action based on what rule it hits and based on what profile you have set up, security profiles you have set up. And I also hope that you now kind of understand the I keep forgetting this word. The order of the action precedence, the order of precedence, the action precedence. I hope that you understand that better. Remember, block is going to have the highest precedence, and then allow is going to have the lowest precedence. So if something matches both of those, then it's going to take the stricter one. So it's going to take block over continue, for example. The order is block, continue, alert, allow, and it's going to take the higher one in that order and take that action. So that's how that works. I hope you enjoyed this video. If there's any other videos that you think I should make, any other interesting things to demo, if you have any other questions, feel free to put those in the comments below. If you think there's any other cool video ideas, any cool Reddit posts that have interesting questions that you'd like me to demo, let me know in the comments, and I will see you in the next video.